Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video we'll be looking at Xerneas BREAK Speed deck. So basically the Xerneas BREAK new card printed and released in Steam Siege set. So basically live stream. For 2 fairy energies you can do 20 damage times the number of energy attached to all of your Pokemons in play. So this is very strong, especially with 150 HP, because we also have that Xerneas with Geomancy, which will allow us to choose 2 of our benched Pokemons, and basically for each of those Pokemons we can search a deck for a Fairy Energy card attached to that Pokemon, and pretty much ends the turn. So turn 1 you can have up to 3 energies in play, and basically turn 2 you can have 6 with those Geomancies and of course energy attachment, but those Max Elixir will also do the job by accelerating bench with energy cards. Also, since I'm only running Xerneas as the main attacker, I decided to pair some Bursting Balloons inside, because since we are going to lose those scrap cards that can actually remove tools from play, I decided to run Bursting Balloon, and in my opinion it's very good. Just because it cannot be discarded, and basically if you have Bursting Balloon in play, you can pretty much force your opponent to take 6 damage counters if he decides to attack basically your Xerneas. And with that Bursting Balloon we can actually have some damage counters on our opponent in play, and basically just turn 2 came with the Xerneas BREAK in play, attach 1 more energy and maybe even knock him out. Also, I decided to run 2 Klefki with Wonderclock, because just this very good card, especially against Mega Evolution decks. So basically, if I'm going to play against Mega Evolution, I can just basically attach my Klefki to one of my Xerneas, and pretty much I can actually prevent my opponent Mega Pokemon from attacking me for a single turn, and in my opinion this is just badass. And basically later I can just reshuffle it back with some energies after I suffer the knockout with the Super Rod. Only thing that actually considered me in this deck is Shaymin-EX. Basically I'm running 2 copies of Shaymin for the setup. The first thing is if I start with it, so that's the biggest problem, but also it's easy to price target, so that can be a little bit tricky. Also from item cards, running 1 Eco Arm, so I can reshuffle 3 Bursting Balloons back into my deck. 4 Max Elixir for extra energy acceleration, 2 copies of Super Rod, just because I want to have as many Xerneas and Klefkis and also energies recycled and back from time to time into play. 4 copies of Trainers Mail, which will allow me to pretty much look at the top 4 cards of my deck and reveal and put any item card I find there into my hand. 4 Ultra Balls, 4 V Seekers, pretty much no need to talk too much about it. From supporter cards I decided to run 1 Delinquent. Basically I can discard my opponent's stadium card and force my opponent to discard 3 cards in hand, but I can also discard my stadium. Single Hex Maniac, which will help me a lot against those abilities, maybe even against Greninja BREAK if I manage to play against it. Single Lysandre, 2 Ends and 2 Ends for draw support, 1 Pokemon Ranger. You never know when you can use actually Pokemon Ranger, so it's always good to have as a tech. 4 Sycamores, of course, same as the 4 Fairy Garden. Fairy Garden very important, especially if you start first and, for example, your active is a Klefki. That can be a little bit tricky, so we don't have Floatstone, we can actually attach energy, Fairy Garden, Max Elixir to bench Xerneas, and basically use Geomancy, and we can escape from that situation. 4 Bursting Balloons, of course, and 12 Fairy Energies, so very huge amount of energy cards, but this deck actually requires a lot of energy. So almost a budget version of deck, but basically those Shaymins actually makes a difference. But also each Xerneas BREAK is very expensive at this moment. They are like $10 or $15, depending on where you're looking for. And pretty much without Shaymin, I don't know if Octillery should work with this deck, but since I'm running a speed version of deck, I actually need to have some Shaymin so I can actually get pretty faster setup with those Max Elixirs, so I can actually turn 2, maybe even start to attack for 180, maybe even more damage counters. So in my opinion, very interesting deck. You should definitely see that in the game test. If you're looking for any of these cards as usual, find them on CCGCastle.com with TCG Center 5 code, get 5% discount on your purchase. You can definitely check more instructions in my video description, so you should definitely check that. So let's do some game tests so you can actually see how this deck will work in the action. Alright guys, so welcome to the game test. So I'm starting with my Shaymin in the active spot, and I really don't like that. So I will just attach one of my energies, and I will go with my N, just because I want to keep my Bursting Balloons and Max Elixir. So there is a Xerneas and the Trainers Mail. So let's take a look at the Trainers Mail. What can I get with it? There is Max Elixir, but I guess I will pick my V-Seeker for next turn actually, so I can just have N, just because I might stuck without supporter card in the active spot, and I really don't like that. So since I started first, it really doesn't matter since I stuck with the Shaymin in the active spot. I will try to get next turn energy onto my Xerneas Bursting Balloon, and then all I really need is Fairy Garden, so I can free retreat and basically use my Geomancy for maybe up to 2 energies. So there's there is Battle Compressor for my opponent. There's a Blacksmith and 2 Fire Energy cards. Alright. So he's still with the Remoraid in the active position. He definitely needs to find some Pokemons to put him onto the bench. Oh, there is a Ho-Oh Break, very nice. Ultra Ball for Volcanion. Alright, so he can definitely accelerate his benched Pokemons with Volcanion, because Volcanion actually can use Power Heater, and basically you can hit for 20 and attach choose two of your benched Pokemons and attach Fire Energy to them from your discard pile. So basically this is the same as the Geomancy, but basically Geomancy will work from the deck. So there's another Battle Compressor. I see some Ultra Balls, there is also Hog, very nice. I really like the art of this Hog. It's a promo card from, I guess, Break Evolution box or something like that, not 100% sure. So, my turn. Alright, so there is a Fairy Energy, and I'm going to attach my Bursting Balloon, so there is also V-Seeker for that N. And basically, let's take a look at the 6 new cards, what I can get. There's a Xerneas, but unfortunately there is no sign of the... Actually, there is no sign yet of Fairy Garden, so I will try to search my deck for another Shaymin. Basically play setup for 4 and try to snag at that Fairy Garden so I can actually retreat for free. Alright, so still no sign of the Fairy Garden, but Trainers Mail might give me one. Unfortunately, no. So, I guess it's okay. I'm going to retreat, discard one of my energies, promote my Xerneas in the active, use my Geomancy, pretty much for Shaymin and the Xerneas, for 2 of my energies. I keep my Ultra Ball just because, I don't know, maybe I should start to attack early in this matchup with my Xerneas Break. I still don't know if that would be a smart option, but definitely I might do that, so I'm just scared about that Volcanion, but definitely I need to get a fast advantage right there by knocking out his Remoraid, so at least I can cut his Drought support, and I guess that would be good. So, oh, there's also Lugia and Artillery. So without Floatstone or Escape Probe or Switch, he is not going to be able to retreat. There is double chorus on Lugia, Abyssal Hand for 4. Alright, so I stuck with 2 of my Shaymins on the bench. They're pretty much easy targets, especially for the Hog. And basically, there is Escape Probe, so that means only one thing. Then I'm going to promote again my Xerneas into the active spot. But he's going to promote his Volcanion. And he can definitely start to attach some energies to one of his benched Pokemons. So basically, let's take a look which one should get energies. So 2 energies to 2 different Hogs. Alright, so my turn back. Top deck Xerneas. I guess I'm going to play one more round of the pretty much Geomancy, and after that I guess I'm going to basically knock out my opponent Volcanion. So So I have an Ultra Ball, which will give me the access to my Xerneas Break. I still keep that Ultra Ball in my hand, basically because I have two of my Shaymins, and that's pretty much all. So one more fire energy attached to the Lugia. So Lugia will be definitely hard to knock out. So I need to have enough resources to respond to that Lugia knockout. So there is Ho of Break. So the first Ho of Break will enter the play. Okay, so there is a Beazle hand for 4, and I can probably see another Bover Heater, so there you go. Luckily that Volcanion will take 6 damage counters back. So I have right now a 4, 5, 6 energies in play. So with one more Fairy Energy that will be a 7. Very nice. There is a V-Seeker in my hand, so that means only one thing. That I'm going to discard 2 of my Fairy Energies in this way, in order to search my deck for another Xerneas. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my Eco Arm, shuffle back 2 of my Bursting Balloons, play my V-Seeker for N, of course, and what I really need right here is some Max Elixirs and more energy cards. So there is another Xerneas, which is also very good. And I really don't know, should I actually start to attack right here or not? Let's first take a look on the Trainers Mail, and the Trainers Mail says there is a Max Elixir. So I'm definitely going to use the Max Elixir. Alright. Of course, Super Rod for 3 energies back. And I guess I'm happy, more than happy with the Geomancy for 2 more energies onto my benched Xerneas. And I think right now I'm ready to exchange price for price with my opponent. Hulk can definitely hit for a lot of damage, but it cannot use its attack next turn. And it also requires like 5 fire energies. On the other side, I can easily actually try to knock out his Lugia EX for double price. So far I have 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 energies in play. So that's 200 damage without a single problem. So there is a Super Rod, and let's see what he's going to do right there. Actually a slow start, but once you're actually able to have enough energies on your Xerneas in play, you don't need to worry about anything else later. So there's Ultra Ball for another Ho break, and basically I can expect another Power Heater for maybe 2 more energies from his discard pile. So far he only had 1, so there's Experience Share for another Ho on the bench. Beazle hand for 3. So my opponent down to 9 cards, I'm down to 22 cards. None of us actually take a prize card right here, so I guess this game can even end by decking out some of us. And there is AZ, so he's going to start to attack first, probably with his Lugia. This is very great because I can actually right now just knock out his Lugia and take prize advantage. I really like that. So let's see. 20, 40, 60, 80. So yeah, he's even short for 1 energy to knock out my Xerneas in this situation. And there we go, there is a double Chorus energy and Deep Hurricane. So yeah, pretty much that Deep Hurricane still not enough for the knockout. He should use that Aura Ball. I don't know why he didn't do that. So I'm going to use my Fairy Garden right here so I can actually retreat. There is Max Elixir. Will there be 1 more energy card? No, it would not be. Pretty much Bursting Balloon, Energy Attachment, I guess Retreat, and I guess I'm ready to use my live stream for a lot of damage. 220, 1 hit knockout with my Xerneas Break. I also have that Bursting Balloon attached, so 1 of the energies will go down to the Ho. I can take 2 prizes, Fairy Garden and Trainers Mail, very nice. So all I really need actually is yeah, basically the double colors energy Hawk will knock out my Xerneas break, so in that situation I will be able to hit for 180, but also in that situation I need... Alright, so there's Lysandre, so he can respond back by knocking out my Shaymin. That's even better, because I can actually knock out his Hawk and pretty much leave him with a attacker. And also good thing is that he is down to 6 cards, so I guess N will do the job right there, pretty much. So there is Shining Flame, 160. How many double colors energy he have? Alright, so he don't have any more double colors energy in play. So I guess it's time to play my Ultra Ball for Klefki and one of my Fairy Gardens for another Xerneas break. Alright, so there is a Trainers Mail. So what can I get with my Trainers Mail? Max Elixir, very nice, but I'm thinking about Max Elixir. I was also thinking about that Hex Maniac. Very nice, one more energy card. It can goes down to Xerneas. And I'm going to play my N, just because I don't want to leave my opponent a chance to have that V-Seeker in his hand. So there is a Bursting Balloon, and since I don't have any more energy card left, I'm going to knock out his Hog. And basically, he needs a Blacksmith in order to knock out my Xerneas break, but then again I can respond by knocking out his Hog, because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energies left on my bench, so that will be enough to knock out his Hog. So the only thing that he can actually do is maybe to knock out my Xerneas with 3 energies, but that's probably not going to happen. So there's Muscle Band, and let's see if he can even power up this Hog to maybe do some damage. So a Beazle hand for 2. There is Fire Energy. Will there be a Blacksmith, V-Seeker for Blacksmith? No, actually he does not play V-Seeker, he does not play Blacksmith. So there, oh, actually there is Blacksmith, I didn't see it. So yeah, definitely this Hawk will knock out my Xerneas. Shining Flame, 180. 6 damage counters of course goes to his Hawk, but pretty much I have another Xerneas in play. So I can definitely knock out his Hawk. So there are some more Fairy energies, and I'm going to play my Max Elixir just to get one more energy in play. So pretty much with one more energy in play, I'm 100% sure that I can knock out his Hawk, and maybe even on the next turn, just in case he somehow managed to knock out my Xerneas break, but probably that's not going to happen. So I'm down to 2 prizes, my opponent is down to 3. I'm in a slightly better advantage, so basically 1 Lysandre for knockout on my Xerneas on the bench will work for my opponent, that is for sure, but there is the last card that he actually pulled with his Geomancy, and pretty much this looks like a GG. So there is a Blacksmith, so he can attach up to 2 energies on his Volcanion. But yeah, all I really need to do is just pass my turn, and I have that victory right here. So we are moving to the game number 2. So stay tuned for the game number 2 in a short time. So there is Steam Artillery for 120. And basically, that's a GG. So see you in the game number 2. Alright guys, so we are back with the testing. So I'm calling the heads, and I'm starting first. So let's take a look at my opening hand. So I have pretty much nothing. So that means that my opponent, if he have basic, can take 1 extra card. I guess the best start is definitely to open with the Xerneas. Double Xerneas is the best start you could get, and maybe Ultra Ball for Shaymin. So let's take a look at 7 new cards. There is Xerneas and Ultra Ball, and also the Fairy Garden featuring Bursting Balloon. So I definitely like this opening hand. I can have pretty damn good opening hand. Yeah, definitely pretty damn good opening hand. So I just need to search my deck with the Ultra Ball for one of my Shaymins. I do have Bursting Balloon, which will definitely trap my opponent for a single turn maybe. So I can actually prevent him from attacking my Xerneas. But once he actually realized what I'm looking to do, he should probably start to attack. So let's take a look. There is a Solaces on the other side. So I'm going to discard with my Ultra Ball, one of my Bursting Balloons, and one of my Fairy Garden. I just want to keep my Xerneas Break for turn 2. Of course, for Shaymin, I'm going to attach my energy and my Bursting Balloon just to get rid of the cards from my hand. So I'm going to play my Shaymin for 4 extra cards. I know that Solaces cannot attack turn 1, but really doesn't matter. So there is a Trainers Mail and Trainers Mail for the N. I can definitely use my N, but before I do that, I will just play one of my Max Elixirs. Hopefully I can find energy card. Yes, there it is. So I'm going with my N for 6 new cards. There is another Xerneas and another Max Elixir, and I really love that. Really love that. So I can have up to 3 energies turn 1. So it's like I used my Geomancy, but I didn't. Alright, so I miss energy right here, so I'm going to pass. So far, 2 energies turn 1. I have Sycamore for the next turn, so I can definitely drop 7 new cards, 2 of 4 Max Elixirs played. There is a Miltank on the other side, so this is going to be a very interesting matchup because I'm playing against that Reunicles, which is very cool deck. There is also Remoraid, so he also played that Artillery in his hand and his deck. So this means only one thing. This means that I need just to power up like 6 energies, which will be enough to, even 5 energies. With 5 energies, I guess that would be enough to one-hit knock out all of my opponent Pokemons in play. So there's another Solaces. So basically, Mini-Link says if Solaces is on your bench, you can do 30 damage. If you have Reunicles, you can do 30 plus 30 for stage 1 and 30 for Solaces. Not sure what's the name of the... Something with D starting is a evolution. So I guess I'm going to play my V-Seeker right here for my N. Just because I don't want to discard my energies in an early game. Alright, very nice. There is another Xerneas. Basically, I attached energy, so I'm going to play my Geomancy for another 2 energies on my Xerneas. I have 7 energies in my deck. So I have 5 left, which means that I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a single energy priced, which is very good. So next turn I can start to attack. All I really need to find my Xerneas Break, and I can start to apply some pressure to my opponent. Only problem is that I'm going to take prize for prize, and it will take ages to do that, but I'm in a better position because I have stronger attacker and also attacker with more HP than my opponent. So there's another Solaces. So far no energy from my opponent, but I actually Duosion is a evolution. So there's Muscle Band, and he can hit for a lot of damage right there. Maybe even for the knockout, who knows. So 10 plus 30 more for each. Oh, actually, he can hit only for 60 if he have both of them on the bench. So there's another Muscle Band and Professor Sycamore for 7. 1 Reunicles just being discarded. Alright, so there's Miltank. And Double Link for only 60. Since you only have Solaces on the bench. So I guess I'm going to play my Ultra Ball right here for 2 of my energies for that Xerneas Break. And I'm going to attach my Xerneas Break onto the... I'm not sure, should I go with the active one or with the benched one? Oh, I picked my Xerneas instead of the Xerneas Break. Alright, never mind. 2 energies will go back into my deck, and I'm going to play my Sycamore, so I can have 7 new cards. There is Fairy Garden. There is 1 more energy attachment on my another Xerneas. I will retreat. On my Xerneas with a full HP, I'm going to attach my Xerneas Break. I will play also my Eco Arm right here, so I can shuffle back my Bursting Balloons into my deck. And I can hit for like 160, 120 And now for the knockout, I don't need to worry too much for anything else. I have 120 damage, which is enough to one-hit knock out all of my opponent Pokemons in play. On the other side, he can also do some very nice damage, but so far he don't have attacker in play, and he's in very bad position, so I also have my Delinquent in hand, so I guess I will definitely force my opponent maybe to discard some of his resources from hand. But on the other side, that auxiliary on the bench will definitely allow him to draw cards until he have 5, so Acrobike, he decided to discard one of his Psychic Energies. Alright, there's Acrobike number 2, and he discarded Bridget, so there's Level Ball. Probably for that Duosion, whatever. Alright, so there's another Solaces on the bench, Energy on Miltank, N, so we are going to shuffle back our hands and draw fresh cards. So I'm going to take 5 cards. There's Klefki. I really don't need Klefki in this matchup, so I'm definitely looking forward just to one-hit knock out his Miltank. Probably if I play a deck that my opponent run, I should definitely run some Bursting Balloons. So in my opinion, having Bursting Balloon in this Runicles deck can be much better, because in that situation you can actually force your opponent to take 6 damage counters if he decides to attack you, and it's much easier actually for you to apply more damage than with your Runicles. So there's a Beazle hand for 3, and basically you can have maybe even one more Dotion in play. So there it is. Alright, so Miltank's still not able to attack, only if he can actually play Wally, but I guess he don't have Wally. So there's Powerful Friends only for 10. I guess I'm going to respond with my Stadium, and I'm going to attach one more energy, and I guess I can go with my Seeker, but I don't have Delinquent in my discard pile, so let's see what I can get with my Trainers Mail Ultra Ball, and I'm definitely looking forward to play my Ultra Ball for Klefki and Ranger, so I can actually grab another Xerneas instead of the Shaymin. I just don't want to give my opponent opportunity actually to knock out my Shaymin for 2 prizes, so I'm going to play my Sycamore for the fresh hand of the 7. I'm looking for those Bursting Balloons, and I managed to get one, so that's pretty much all that I need. Let's see, Trainers Mail maybe for another Max Elixir, no, just for the Seeker. And I'm going to knock out his Miltank. And the good thing is that I have also Bursting Balloons, so just in case he decides to promote his Dojon and he didn't find Runicles, I can actually knock him out. So there is also Super Rod, which can help me to put some of my Pokemons when I actually get knockout into my deck. So far, I guess I'm more than happy. I can one-hit knock out all of his Pokemons in play, so I don't need to rush anywhere. I'm down to 4 prizes, he's down to 6 prizes, and this is definitely a long run to my opponent. I don't know how he can actually recover from this. Xerneas is definitely very strong, especially the break. So there's another Miltank. And there is Runicles, which means that he can actually start to use his Powerful Friends for 80, maybe even for the 100. Another Remoraid, so there's Dimension Wally, number 3 for him. And I have one more Fairy Garden left, so I definitely need to get rid of his Dimension Wall in play. That means that he will need 2 energies to use the Link Fusion. And there is another Runicles, which means that he can hit for the 90, 110 in total, Secret Dash. Alright, so he can put back a full line of Runicles and 1 Miltank into his deck. And there is a Trainer's Mail, so definitely very good. Will he be able to hit for 100 or 80? Really doesn't matter. He definitely needs to get Shaymin in active spot and maybe took 2 prizes over it. So there is Lysandre for the... oh, another Xerneas actually, so he definitely going to knock him out and take prize, very smart. So I guess I'm going to promote one with the damage counters in the active spot. So there is Bursting Balloon, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my Bursting Balloon again to my active Xerneas. I managed to get Stadium, so I will definitely counter my opponent Dimension Wally, so that means that he needs 2 energies to attack. And I'm going to attack with my live stream. Still no time to play my Super Rod. I'm looking forward for one more energy card so I can actually then play basically Super Rod. Since I can one-hit knockout all of my opponent Pokemon, it really doesn't matter where should I actually put my Bursting Balloon. If he have V-Seeker, he can one-hit knockout right now my Shaymin on the bench. Of course, he needs to get V-Seeker for Lysandre and one of his energy cards, but no, he missed that, so there is a N. And he's not going to be able to actually knock out my Shaymin for 2 prizes. Alright, so let's see for how many damage counters this Runicles can hit right now. 30 damage, 60 more damage, 90 more damage, so I guess for 120, or maybe I misread something right here, I don't know, a little bit confused about this Link Fusion. So there is Abyssal Hand and he's going down to 4 cards, looks like that he's going to deck out himself, so this is going to be a Reunicles with the Link Fusion for 210, oh my goodness. He took 6 damage counters back. He don't have Dimension Wall in play, which is definitely good advantage for myself. So there is a Super Rod, and I'm looking forward to put my Xerneas Break and one of my Fairy Energies back into my deck. I'm going to play my Max Elixir. I'm going to attach my energy onto my Shaymin. One more energy to my Xerneas on the bench, and Professor Sycamore for 7. So there is Ultra Ball, which means that I can search my deck for another break, or maybe even better for another Xerneas, so I can later actually put that break in play. And yeah, pretty much live stream for the knockout. I'm down to 2 prizes. So without actually Dimension Wall in play, he's not able to use his Link Fusion, so he definitely needs to find Dimension Wally first and then energy cards. So right now you see why it's very important to have so many stadiums in play, especially these days for that stadium war. So there is Super Rod, so he can easily bring back those Runicles line into his deck, maybe even some energy cards. He's very low on resource with energy, 7 energies in his discard pile, so there is 1 energy and no sign of Dimension Wally. And there is a Abyssal Hand for 2. He's down to 4 cards. Very nice Runicles deck. I really like the idea of this deck, but definitely deck needs to run some of the Bursting Balloons, and I guess with Bursting Balloon it would be even much more better. So I managed to top deck Xerneas Break and Fairy Energy, which will be enough, I guess, to knock out my opponent Reunicles. So there is a Abyssal Hand, another Miltank, and pretty much he cannot attack. And definitely when you miss actually turn off the attack, that's very sad. So I'm going to actually I'm going to use my live stream. I was thinking maybe about retreating onto my another Xerneas, but it really doesn't matter. I'm down to 1 prize and I really don't need to do that. So he's down to 2 cards. There is Miltank, but I guess this is pretty much GG. Without balloons, actually, you can't be that good, because I guess this deck should definitely be very strong with Bursting Balloons. That's just my personal opinion. If he had those Bursting Balloons, I guess I would lose the matchup, because I would not be able to attack with my Xerneas earlier. And pretty much this is a GG. So I actually managed at the end to beat his Runicles deck. Really nice. It took 6 prizes, actually 6 Pokemons to knock out in order to basically win. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. It was definitely very interesting to play with it. So Xerneas Break, as you can see, very good card. It can hit for a lot of damage. It can take a pretty fast acceleration. Bursting Balloon definitely can help you a lot against those non-EX attackers, especially against EX attackers. Again, on the other side, we also have a Klefki who can actually help us a lot against those Mega Evolutions. So basically with this build, you're ready to go against pretty much either way, heavy EX deck, non-heavy EX deck, and pretty much against Mega EX deck, and you have pretty much slightly advantage against any of these decks. So basically, even with the Delinquent and Hex Maniac, we can interrupt our opponent's hand and abilities. Also, Ranger can help us a lot. Max Elixir can give us pretty fast acceleration, same as the Eco Arm can help us with those bursting balloons to recycle them back and use over and over again. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Don't forget to hit like button and subscribe to the channel for more future videos. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave comments below. Till the next time, enjoy the rest of my videos on the channel. Don't forget to check that booster box opening. Stay tuned for another giveaway, and till the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.